Good evening, I'm meteorologist Mary Kay Kleist. We do want to update you on the tornado warning which is taking place in central Will County, and that is until 7:30 this evening. There have been reports of a couple of different tornadoes on the ground, so we do have this tornado warning in effect until 7:30. And as we look at radar, you can see that there are a lot of scattered showers and storms around the area. Throughout the afternoon and into now, we have noticed that some of these show evidence of rotation, and it's been weak rotation all afternoon, but now we're starting to see that in central Will County things are coming together a little better. Now that particular cell is lifting to the north and east at about 25 miles per hour. So as we go through 712 here now, right as it's just starting to step into Mokina, also Orland at 726, Bremen at about 736, into Worth at 743, and then that cell would move into Evergreen Park at 753. So we have numerous storm spotters that are out there this evening right along that warm front, which is now lifting into Will County and southwestern Cook County. That's where we do have the most instability. So as we go back to radar, we want to show you that as everything continues lifting to the north and east, you're starting to get those rains repeating in the same places, and that is creating some localized flooding that will also be an issue as we go through the evening hours. So one storm spotter that I'm reading up on now is just to the northeast of Wilton Center, and he's witnessed two separate tornadoes from two separate wall clouds, and as of now he reports no funnel and no tornado down, but still a strong rotating wall cloud, but nothing imminent. Now that's from the Wilton Center area. So and Danny is a trained storm spotter who was associated with the National Weather Service at one point and still is reporting for them. And we also want to note that wind gusts could be up to 60 miles per hour with the strongest cells as they continue moving to the north and east. And the problem is all day long we've had dew point temperatures that just keep rising. When you see dew point temperatures rising to 73 degrees in Joliet, and that's right in the vicinity of where this cell formed, that tells us that we do have a lot of moisture tacked on to this system as it moves in. So on Futurecast through the evening, we will have, this is the outlook now, through the evening hours for scattered showers and storms. Some of them could be strong or severe as we go through the evening. Then overnight, it just tapers to showers, and then as we get into the morning hours, that's when we see things dry out. But the problem is we've already had impressive amounts of rain, and as we look at the newest models now for rainfall estimates, look at McHenry and Waukegan. We could see 2 to 5 inches additional rainfall up in that area as we go through this evening, just from these new cells that keep forming in the same place and moving to the north and east. So the tornado warning, if you're just joining us, is for central Will County, but that cell is quickly now starting to step into Cook County. So I'll zoom in a little tighter now from Frankfort to Orland Park, right through Tinley Park and Oak Lawn. That is the area of concentration where we've had reports of multiple wall clouds and also noticed rotation showing up on radar. And again, these are moving to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So that's a slow forward speed. So if we pull this out to 25 miles per hour, we can see that in Tinley Park here very quickly at 7:24 moving in, and then to Crestwood at about 7:39, then into Oak Lawn at 7:47, and possibly into the city of Chicago at 8:13 if this cell should hold together. But they have been very slow movers, and that's what's creating the localized flooding that we have seen in multiple areas. And the storm, the National Weather Service keeps reporting that we've had impressive storm totals already where we've seen 2 to even 3 inches of rain in some places with this rain. That's why when we look at weather alerts, the entire area almost in green, that's because we do have the flash flood watch, and that's in effect until 1 a.m. for Chicago, for Aurora and Ottawa. And then you see those brighter red colors here up into northern Kane County where we had a very heavy cell. And as we track this, we can see that we have a flash flood warning until 8:30 this evening for northern Kane County. And that does include Burlington, Campton, Campton Hills, and Gilbert's until 8:30, because it seems that now up to 3 inches of rain has already fallen across this area. So you're getting the idea that we have a lot of heat, a lot of humidity into these cells, and add to that the rotation of the main area of low pressure. So when we look at where that low is, we've been watching it for the last couple of days just inch its way into Iowa and slowly across the state. And then now it's just starting to push through the Quad Cities. 80s, and the warm front ahead of it, that's going to be the focus for this heavy, severe weather as we go through the evening hours. Now, I just see on the chat from the National Weather Service, they're talking about the trends on that Will County tornado, and they're saying it is showing reports of a gradual weakening, and if this continues over the next 4 minutes or few minutes, they will likely not issue that tornado warning into Cook County, because it seems that on radar we are starting to see signs of it weakening. It is moving now out of Will County into southern Cook. So as we zoom in on radar, we can see that Oak Lawn, Orland Park, Frankfort even still having that activity. And now on the north end of that, through Downers Grove and Aurora and right along 88, we see that very heavy rain, also with lightning continuing to push to the north. Then storms further to the north keep bringing rain to places that already receive very heavy rain. In Libertyville, they receive very heavy rain, and they're getting rain again. Also Algonquin and Lake Zurich and up into Waukegan and Wheeling, we see very heavy rain along with lightning that is showing up too. So as we go through the evening hours, we do still have the threat for severe weather as these cells keep lifting to the north and east at about 25 miles per hour. So we want to take one more look here at this cell as it now is near the Frankfort area, lifting to the north and east at 25. And we have winds that could pick up to 60 miles per hour with the strongest cells. So other areas that will be hit with some heavy weather shortly would be Tinley Park at 7:30. A heavy thunderstorm will be headed your way. Also into Bremen at 7:39, and then Blue Island at about 7:49, Evergreen Park 7:56, and into Calumet at about 8:10. Now our storm reporter that is out there with the National Weather Service is saying that the wall cloud and low-level rotation is very disorganized. It's not gone, but it's nothing like it was, he says, 15 to 20 minutes ago, which is good news. This is a horrible time for all of this, with the tail end of rush hour still taking place, and you have all this activity moving into the main arteries that go in and out of Chicago, especially with this cell now just near Orland Park, lifting closer to 55 in the Stevenson as it starts moving into Burbank, and then eventually into Lyons. As we look at the 55 corridor now, it's pretty quiet, but just south of there is where we have this very impressive cell right over Palos Heights. If you're watching from there, we see that this storm is lifting into Evergreen Park, into Burbank and Justice. So those three towns, you will see conditions deteriorate as well. But as we went through the day today, we've noticed that the temperatures have been climbing. We had highs in the mid-80s in many places. We've had dew point temperatures soaring into the 70s, and that's really creating a lot of this instability, because it's just moisture loading these storms as they move in. So here are the current dew point temperatures. They've been rising throughout the day. A 73-degree dew point temperature in Joliet. So that's just helping to increase the rain threat. And as we look at rainfall estimates here through the evening hours, it looks like we could see the heaviest rain for Lake and McHenry County, where on top of what we've already received, we could see 2 to maybe 5 more inches of rain, especially as you get up into Kenosha and Racine County as well. And it's just because of the slow progression of this area of low pressure that is winding its way now through the Quad Cities region. You see storms south of it in St. Louis ahead of the actual cold front. That still has to move through for us. But on the northern edge of this, from Milwaukee to Chicago, that's where we have the most instability. And we also have those showers and storms continuing to move through. So we could take a closer look on radar here, just to give you an idea that wind gusts to 60 miles per hour are certainly a possibility with these cells, but they've been repeating in the same places, and we're seeing that in Lake and McHenry County all over again. Now we're getting some very heavy downpours. So from Wheeling up to Waukegan, up to Avon and Crystal Lake and Algonquin, those are going to be some areas where you may have some flash flooding issues, because we do have that flood alert up for us, and all of us are under a flash flood watch until 1 a.m. So for right now, we still do have the tornado warning up. It still has about 9 more minutes left with it, but the National Weather Service has noticed that on radar here, it has shown signs of weakening. Now, the warning was for central Will County. Now, as we look into Will County, we see that one corner of it around Frankfort, and then as you step into Madison and Orland Park, it's starting to reach into that portion of Cook County. So that's where we're starting to see the energy move from the storm away from Will County. But as it steps into Cook County, there are signs that it's weakening just a bit, so to say, but you may notice those really dark clouds, almost that eerie sky, or sometimes it can have a greenish hue to it as you look out to the open land, because then you can get an idea of how that's taking shape. But as we look at weather alerts, what we see is that tornado warning still for central Will County. If I zoom in right here, so south of, it includes Frankfort, but on the south side to Green Garden to Moni. And again, all of this energy is lifting into Matson and Country Club Hills. Then further to the north, we have the flash flood watch up for Chicago and Aurora, DeKalb, all the areas in green. And then we still have the warning from all the earlier heavier rains for parts of Kane County. So this area in dark red from Hampshire to Burlington and Campton and also into Rutland. That's been an area where we've already received numerous reports of flooded out roadways, so you want to be very careful when you're out driving around. So this flash flood warning for this area of Kane County is in effect until 8:30 this evening, and that's for Burlington, Campton, Campton Hills, and into Gilbert, because more rain is repeating in those same places. And I see that 2 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen in this area, so it's just aggravating the problems that are already taking place out there in Kane County, an area hard hit by the rain. And as you can see here on radar, we're just seeing more rain lifting into that same area. In fact, if we zoom in a little tighter to the areas that have already received flooding, so anywhere from Aurora to DeKalb to McHenry to Waukegan, and even now the North Shore, we're starting to see that rain move into the picture. But as far as any active weather, our concern is Will County into southern Cook County. So really between Frankfort and Orland Park and into Oak Lawn, that's where we are seeing this storm that caused the tornado warning, which still has a few more minutes left on it just because of the rotation that was first noticed on radar from the National Weather Service. And then they have trained spotters that are out there, and they have also noticed that it was an actual tornado, but it looks like it has weakened over the last 15 to 20 minutes, which is good news. But still an unnerving sight if you're out and about and you see something like that. And also keep in mind too that you never want to drive over a water-covered roadway, because in just 6 inches of water you can lose your footing. And if it's a foot of water, you can lose control of your car, especially as you get up to 2 feet of water. Then that's when your car almost starts just floating, and you don't want to get involved in that, because as the sun sets this evening, over the next hour, we're going to lose daylight, and you keep getting these storms repeating in the same places, and you just don't know if there's a pothole or a ditch or the area you're driving into, if it is covered with water. So you do want to be careful on that. So again, the National Weather Service reporting now trends on that Will County tornado warned storm are showing reports of a gradual weakening. So they probably will not be issuing a tornado warning for southwestern Cook County, although that is an area that is receiving some very heavy rain. In fact, as we zoom in tighter now, we are seeing from Orland Park to Worth to Bridgeview and Proviso, and now into the southwest side of the city. We're seeing the main part of that storm lift to the north and east. Also Tinley Park and the Frankfort area. If we zoom in a little tighter there in Country Club Hills, we are seeing that we have some very heavy rain there. So from Madison to Frankfort to Orland Hills, that is a very heavy cell. Then a little further to the north as we get into Burbank and into Evergreen Park. Also Blue Island getting some very heavy rain, and Palos Heights and Hickory Hills as storms continue to move to the north and east. Then further up into DuPage County are concerns along 88 with some flooding rains for Aurora and Downers Grove and Glendale Heights and into Naperville too. All of this is lifting into West Chicago and York and Bloomingdale. Your conditions are going to be deteriorating here as we go through the next few minutes, because we're going to see some very heavy rain lift into the picture for you. The North Shore now starting to get a little more active north of Evanston around Winnetka into Northville and Wheeling and up into Libertyville. Libertyville's been hit hard with some flooding rains, and it looks like you are under a heavy cell right now with some lightning detected there as well. You know, I wanted to look at the hail tracks. We don't really have a lot of hail associated with these storms, which is interesting. It's more of a rotation in the lower levels that we've noticed on radar, and a good amount of lightning too. But I think the biggest threats for the evening storms would be the chance of rotating thunderstorms, first of all, and then second of all, flooding threats. And flooding threats have already been an issue, especially when we look here at this map. It's almost the same places that have been receiving heavy rain as we went through the afternoon into Aurora and Waukegan and McHenry and northern Kane County. That's been an area that's been hardest hit. But now as we look at this cell that was the warned storm from Will County, it looks like Will County around Manhattan, now things are breaking up for you, which is good news. But when we look at Frankfort Airport, Matzik, Tinley Park. That's where we're starting to see that cell continue lifting at northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Then a little further to the north, we have Burbank and Evergreen Park with a lot of lightning and very heavy rain. And the good news is that the National Weather Service just let that expire, that tornado warning for Will County. But if you are in southern Cook County, especially from Bridgeview to Tinley Park and the southwest side of Chicago, I do want to let you know that your weather conditions could be deteriorating here as that storm moves in. But the good news is the tornado warning for Will County has been allowed to expire just because of the weakening trend that we've noticed on radar, and the National Weather Service is no longer concerned for it as far as creating a tornado, and they did not extend that warning into Cook County, so that's good news. So we will keep you up to date as we go throughout the evening, but right now we do not have a tornado warning any longer. They went ahead and let it expire because that storm now moved into Cook County. It is not a tornado, but it is a hefty thunderstorm for southern Cook. So do be careful and keep it tuned to CBS 2. We'll keep you updated throughout the evening.
This has been a CBS 2 special weather report.